Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to Royal Sussex Live. Oh, wow. It was a race to put it all together, but at the end, it happened. Oh, let's see here. Oh, what the heck is that? Oh, okay. Oh yeah, I didn't mean to do that. Okay, so Caroline, I'm sorry. Yeah, Caroline, thank you so much for being here first. Followed by Bunny Rose, Katie V, Ingrid Soares, Lorna Williams, Marjorie, Lola Love, Black Queen, Judy Matassa, Joyce Anderson, Lydia Washington wants to say hi to a few people, and Joy Amore, got a couple hellos, Mary H., and a host of friends and others. How about that? Let's get started, shall we? Uh, uh, I saw Black. Oh, not Black Queen. Um. Hmm. Let me see. Somebody else that celebrated Veterans Day. Church Nelly. Church Nelly. I think I saw in somebody else's chat earlier, but yeah, somebody else that celebrates. I'm just asking to get cussed out, ain't I? But yeah, another person who celebrates for their own reasons, right? Right. So, oh, that's just messy. But let's see. Okay. All right, we're good then. All right, so let me take that away. I'm drinking some Arizona green tea. I try not to drink those too often because they're not. Um, they don't use cane sugar. I don't think. Yeah, I don't think they use cane sugar. I try to stick with cane sugar, but they don't use cane sugar. So I try not to have too many of them. But when I do, I love to pour it over ice because it's a little sweet for my taste. But yeah, the Arizona green tea with ginseng and honey and high fructose corn syrup. I love it. Okay. Hello, Susie Q. Maggie Howell. Okay, did I say hi, Maggie Howell already? Okay, it doesn't matter. Let me close some windows here because I got too much stuff open. Okay, we don't want the computer to lock up on us, so close a bunch of that stuff, and we're good. We are so good, so good, so right to be with you tonight. So good, so right. Okay, to be with you tonight. Okay. What am I forgetting? No, I think, yeah, that's it. All right, so let me go to, Harry and Meghan news, of course, always. Royal family remembering Sunday. It's supposed to be remembrance, not remembering Sunday. Okay, I messed that one up. And shade and messiness. It's remembrance, not remembering Sunday. Who? Oh, I did that. Okay, never mind. Hard to get good help these days. So, I changed the thumbnail from yesterday. I really didn't have time to do a proper thumbnail yesterday as it was already so late. So I replaced it with this thumbnail. So this is for yesterday. I think it says everything that I'm feeling. Um, and so, yeah, if you see this, then you know I just swapped the thumbnail, but I think that one's pretty cool. And Well, you guys, as you know, I'm a big history buff, right? I love history, art, architecture, um, sociology, anthropology, geography, right? All of those fees. I love those fees. And yeah, just about any type of Connie Balmer. Hey, Connie Balmer. Good morning, Connie Balmer. But yeah, just about any of those fees are fun for me. So, you guys, it has been 60 years. Can you believe it? It's been 60 years. Um, on the 11th of November, back in, oh, what was it, 1963? With 11 days, oh, was it, yeah. It was the 11th. With 11 days to live, John F. Kennedy at Arlington Cemetery for Veterans Day 60 years ago today. So 60 years and a day, since I'm showing you a day late. But yeah, look at those bright, vivid colors. Now, I tried to tone the colors down and I wasn't able to do it. So I guess that's the way the exposure worked. But this was one of the color photographs from then. And then if you take a look here, I mean, it looks like this photo was just taken yesterday. And you could see how robust and healthy and fit and attractive John F. Kennedy was 11 days before the end of his life. 11 days before his murder, John F. Kennedy at Arlington National Cemetery for Veterans Day 1963. You know, it's like if I should never be a time traveler, because if I was, I would go right to Washington D.C. and tell him, "Don't get on that plane," or you know what I'm saying? It's just he was so young and full of life, and I mean that was I don't think we had a president in his 40s again until what? Bill Clinton? Wasn't Bill Clinton like 46 or something like that? So yeah, it took a while before we had another young president, but yeah, it's just one of those parts of history where you just wish things could have been different, or you wonder what it would be like. And I don't know, maybe he wouldn't be as memorable or as important had he lived. But he motivated a lot of people, and he talked the talk, and he walked the walk, and he was a great speaker, very intelligent man. And then this is the last of the photos from that day. John F. Kennedy and son John at Arlington National Cemetery for Veterans Day 60 years ago today, 11 days before his assassination. Yeah. Black Queen, are you saying who was 46? Bill Clinton? Uh, yeah, Bill Clinton was 46 when he took office. Hello, VS Speaks Royally. But yeah, let's go back and take a look at the photos. Those I think this one is just overly exaggeratedly colorful, but this one looks more natural. Hard to believe, but it just seems like he just took those photos yesterday. Wow. Wow, we and look at little John John. Little John John. Yeah, incredible. Okay, so that was let's see. Oh, look at the outfit of John Jr. Looks much like one that Harry wore. Yeah, it does. You know, it was a fine tradition amongst the smart people, rich, smart people, to keep their kids in knickers or short pants until they were like, what, 10 years old or something like that? But they would wear the those knee-high breeches for a long time before they actually now you see there, they wait until I get on Royal Sussex, and here come Lottie Dottie and everybody. I'm sitting up here, minding my business, talking to you all, and everybody wants to what is this thing? Is it WhatsApp or Snap app, whatever it is? Everybody wants to talk now. I be sitting up here sometimes days at a time and nobody wants to talk to me. And then all of a sudden, here come everybody. Out of the woodwork they come. So let me see. Carol Lund says, I was 10 years old. John Kennedy was assassinated. Wow, okay. And I'm pretty sure that the memories must be etched in your mind about that moment. The shock, the horror of it. They say that violent crimes in the United States multiplied, horrifically multiplied since the assassination. It's as though we lost our innocence. So, yeah. Now, according to FBI statistics, violent crime, murder, all those things just exploded after that. But yeah, I don't believe in the Kennedy curse thing, but they have it was a big family. What could I say? It was a big family, and they were the jet set. They were a jet set family, one of the earlier jet set families, but still you have to have like some kind of affection for John F. Kennedy. Oh well. If only there was a way, right? If only someone could have stopped this before it went too far. It's one of those things, just one of those things. Yeah, yeah. But still, they should have been able to keep him safe. You know, nowadays, if they can keep the people nowadays safe, they should have been able to keep him safe. But yeah. Okay. I'm going to get on with it then because I could talk about that all day. So here's something very interesting. Every Veterans Day, November the 11th, at exactly 11:11 a.m., the sun aligns perfectly with the Anthem Veterans Memorial in Anthem, Arizona. So yeah, kind of like a winter solstice or something like that. Every year at that time, the beam of light goes through those stones and create the image of is that the presidential seal or the United States seal or something? I think that's just for the United States, but yeah. So if you're there at that time, there is that possibility of seeing it. Seemed like they should have put a white stone instead of bricks, though, right? Just so that it would look better. Look at me trying to redesign it. Like white marble or concrete or limestone, something else besides the brick. But that is very, very cool if you ever have a chance to see it. Every year on the 11th day of the 11th month, on the 11th hour, at the 11th minute. Wow, that's deep. Connie Balmer, thank you so much for the super chat. Thank God Nellie is back. We continue to pray for her and Meghan and Harry. Absolutely. And thank you so much, Connie Balmer. And thank you for being with us this morning. And I hope you have a great, productive week in Switzerland. Yeah. So thank you. I appreciate it. And thanks for being a member. Connie Balmer. So yeah, might be a little past Church Nellie's bedtime right now. It's Church Nellie convalesce, but I was pretty sure Was it VS where I saw her, or was it? I think so. But yeah. Okay. Continuing. Um. Hello, Kitty. You all. I am going to try to be as civil as possible. I am. I'm going to try to be as civil as possible. But Willie Leaks and Kate, bed knobs and broomsticks, Kane and Unable, you name it. Um, they had a night out, and we talked about it yesterday. But it wasn't until today that I could see this repeated again. I mean, all you have to do is blink your eye, and it's 2022. But this is from 2023. No improvement. No improvement. With that hollowed look that they both have on their faces, I can only imagine that there's even a greater divide between the two of them, possibly. I'm not wishing anything bad on the two of them because they're such nice people. They're such nice people, the salt of the earth. Um, yeah, I mean, I don't know why I haven't built a shrine to them yet, but they're just lovely people. Um, so take a look there. I went into my archives and I found this. The Prince and Princess of Wales arrived at the service at the cenotaph at which Prince William will lay a wreath. Has anything changed? I mean, that is 2022, 2023. That same startled, petrified, I would rather watch spinal fusion surgery look on their faces. Yeah. They look like I would rather watch spinal fusion surgery than to be in this car right now. But yeah, there they are. Um, Will and Kate. Kind of like Ross and Rachel, right? We were on a break. Oh, well, not much has changed. Not much has changed. Let me examine. Uh, yeah, yeah, and and look at Will's posture. Look at his posture, like he's trying to leap out the car or something, like he's going to open the car and roll out and tumble on the ground and then jump up on his feet and run for it, like he's going to disappear into a briar patch or something. Yeah, that look on his face is the same as it was last year. Drop me off first. Hey, hey, oi, mate, drop me off first. He has that look on his face like, drop me off first. Yeah, drop me off and then get her back to Adelaide Cottage. Very, very strange. Very strange. And then, of course, I don't know if they should call it Remembrance Sunday or Performative Sunday, because there was quite a few stellar performances. Kate Remembrance, Pride and Pain, Tears for the Fallen. Now, I would be more apt to believe it had Kate lived through the Second World War. I would be more apt to believe it if her father was in the Second World War. But I'm just not buying this. I'm just not buying it. It was a solemn occasion. And what I think is going on here is that there's a role that must be adhered to, a role that must be fulfilled. And this has all the markings of someone getting into character and nothing more. I just feel like someone's getting into character. I would even want to believe that, maybe the reality is kicking in, that you're trapped. But some people are so ignorant they don't have enough sense to be offended or to know when they're bad off. You know what I'm saying? Some people don't have enough sense to know the dire nature of their existence. Lex says more stolen valor this year, like Pokemon level up. Oh, wait a minute. Yeah, okay, got it. Thank you so much, Legs. And then over there, you can see Solemn Kate double tribute to late Queen on day respect for fallen was restored. On the day respect for the fallen was restored, was it taken away? On day respect for the fallen was restored. I don't get the restored part. I mean, haven't they been observing this occasion for what, years now? For decades? Not sure what that means. Suella comes out fighting. Well, I tell you what, if I look like Suella, if I hadn't come out fighting, I look like I had been in a fight. But yeah, so there you go. Sevilla says, why is attention on her versus King Charles III? But isn't that a yearly thing? That's the annual, oh, Kate looks so solemn. Kate looks so stoic. Kate looks so, that's every year. When the Queen when it was first obvious how sick the Queen was, remember they had all of those magazine articles saying ready to be queen, ready to, I thought that was incredibly disrespectful, especially when the Queen was still alive and Camilla was next. But yet they kept pushing this idea of Kate being the next queen. Like, don't worry, y'all. Yeah, wasn't that what happened? The Queen wasn't there, right? The Queen had pulled out of the occasion in 2021, I think it was. And then they had Kate on the magazine cover, if I recall. Oh, and that was that time when they had her face looking all jacked up. Remember that? That's when they had her face looking all jacked up. And I mean jacked up. They got angry because they thought that, oh, okay, I got it right here. I got it right here. Oh my goodness, there's several of them. I tell you what, let me put together a quick slide. I got several of them, you guys. Didn't know we were gonna. Uh-oh. What did I just do? Didn't know we were gonna be on this topic, but I can do this very fast. I have several of them. So let me do this. And I will put together a quick slide so we can compare. You know, I keep records. I am a record keeper. They may be disorganized as AF, but I have them. Okay. Let me do one more. Okay, and one more. Yes. Oh man, this don't make no sense. You would think I had something better to do, but I don't. I promise you I don't. This is what I do. Now, let me grab one more thing because I know what I'm looking for. It won't be hard to find it. There is a collage of those Kate is ready to rule or Kate waiting to be queen. Let me grab that one. And we are good. Yeah, because they were really, I couldn't believe it, but they were really rubbing it in Camilla's space. I mean to tell you, you would have thought Camilla was a little puppy that pooped on the carpet. They were rubbing her face in this idea of how unnecessary she was, and that we can skip you and go right to Kate. Now, I would say, well, maybe they were just doing that to sell magazines, but that doesn't make sense because, it's, oh, I got it. I got it. Got it. All right. Got it. Now let me get back over here. All right, y'all. I'm over here busy as a cat covering up SHIT. Okay. Huh. Okay. Now, didn't I just see a Judy Matassa says she was mad with Will and couldn't hold back the tears. Thank you so much, Judy Matassa. Holding back the tears, thinking of the fear I had so long. Okay. So this was from 2021, was it? Yeah, this was from, let me see, make sure. Was that 2021? So health fears for the Queen. And then over here, you can see Queen misses service with back pain. Back pain? I think we know better now. And then over here, 2021, as she pulls out of cenotaph service, is Queen set to cut back duties after new health scares? And then over here, as she is that the same thing? Oh yeah, why did I do that twice? Never mind. And then, of course, I think I must have missed one. Let's see. Okay, that's the same one. Fears over Queen's health. 3. Okay. But yeah, and if you remember, Kate had that mouth kind of jacked up, and that was one of the big things. They got angry with the magazines, or the tabloids rather, for let me see. Jazz Hands really had a face like thunder for part of today's Remembrance Sunday. Stuff we'll have coverage on the, I think that was from Kaiser of Celebici, because they were the ones calling her Jazz Hands. But yeah, and then of course, I believe that was Meghan's 2019 or 20, wasn't 2020. It would have had to. Meghan only did the balcony 2018 and 2019. So that was Meghan's 2019, I believe. And if I recall, it seemed like Kate had come out trying to look like Meghan with that big hat on. Very, very similar shape to the hat. Let's see. Leg says, they keep trying to change the narrative. Anyone imagine a crown? The Meghan years, it would see all this backstabbing, jealousy, and pathetic royals. Thank you so much for that, Legs. But yeah, if they feature that in the crown, I'm telling you, the ratings, the Crown's ratings would go back to like it was the first and second season, when people were like really excited about it, because they really blew it last time. But yeah, so that's what they gave us. I don't know what was going on with Kate's mouth, but I believe it was Celebici was asking why was she up there with her mouth askew. Not really sure what to make of Metro, the Times, and Daily Express and Daily Mail, all going with unflattering photos of Kate with her mouth askew. With her mouth askew for the cover. Yeah, I think that was Celibate. Yeah, back then I used to cover up everybody's info, but yeah, I believe that was Celebici that said, "Why was her mouth askew and a face like thunder?" Now do you see why I love Celebrity so much? They come up with some doozies, don't they? Jazz hands, mouth askew, face like thunder. I love them all. But yeah, so that is that is what happened. They all seem to have those unflattering photos at the same time. Why? I don't know, but it just seemed like that was the course of things. Now, here's the other thing I wanted to show you. This. Look at that. The new king, king and queen. Mom who will be queen. The next queen. The next queen. King and queen. The new king and queen. King and queen preparing for the throne. Meet the new queen, Queen Kate, King and Queen. I was about to say King Queen. We'll see. King Queen. Uh, we'll see. King Queen. Kate prepares to be queen. Royal mom, future queen. Take the throne. I mean, they were really pushing it. Portraits of the future queen. They just kept pushing that stuff out there like she was going to sit on the throne next. Right? You would have thought that there was some kind of campaign coming from somewhere to try. And I even said at the time that maybe they got something that will shame Charles and keep him from taking the throne. Remember, I used to say that? I thought maybe they had some kind of information that they were going to release at a certain time, and maybe Charles wouldn't want to take the throne for fear of embarrassment or shame or something. And it's not to say that that something does not exist, but well, he's in there now. But yeah, with all of this, I had this sinking feeling that Charles wasn't going to make it to the throne, or if he did, he wouldn't be there for long. But well, shows what I know. Lisi D, thank you so much for the super sticker, and thank you as always for watching Royal Sussex. Yep, that was the build up to it. Let me see. Oh, I'm sorry, that's not for me, is it? Okay, let me continue. Let me go back over to today. So today, again, not the most flattering photos, was it? Not the most flattering. And the big culprit, again, the Metro. What is it does the Metro have against Kate Middleton? What is it? I mean, weren't they singled out last time? Not really sure what to make of Metro, the Times, the Daily Express, and the Daily Mail all going with unflattering photos of Kate with her mouth. I cannot say that without laughing, with her mouth askew. With her mouth askew. Not sure what to make of the Metro, the Times, the Daily Express, and the Daily Mail, all going with unflattering photos of Kate Middleton with her mouth askew. It does seem like some kind of organized plot, doesn't it? So, if you get back over here today, now look at what the Metro has done to her. Look at what the Metro has done. Not the most flattering photo. Why would they do that? Why would they do that? What has she done to somebody at the Metro? I don't know. But there she is once again with her mouth askew. Oh, Lord. Tears for the Fallen. Okay. Uh, and then, of course, here. Now, it's almost as though there was a competition to see who is going to be the most emotional now that the queen is gone, right? Who is going to be the one to be the most emotional of all absent the queen? Will it be Camilla or will it be Kate? They both had that moment where they seem to have been overcome with emotion, knowing not now one of them served in the military. Yes, it is a solemn occasion and such, but I'm just not so sure that this was called for. I think it is performative. Um, you know, I mean, this is the one of the things that they are paid to do once a year, right? So let the performance begin. Now, the Queen, actually having lost people, having experienced that period of history firsthand, I could imagine that seeing her father, serving during, well, reigning through the war, and him being such a heavy smoker and everything. And I'm just saying, I feel like the queen, I could accept that this was a time of great emotion. A lot of her friends are gone at this point, right? A lot of people that she lived through the war with, her family and everything, everybody's gone. And of course, sometimes as we get older, we can be quite emotional, a flood of tears. So I could accept that. But Camilla and Kate, I'm just not buying it. I'm just not buying that performance that they put on. I believe that the Queen's tears were authentic. The Queen had come to that point in her life. She had lived through a lot, experienced a lot. Three of her adult children divorced out of the four of them. Her castle burned down. A lot of things had happened at that point. So, yes, I could accept that. Leg says, won't crying melt Camilla's face? Never mind. I'm melting, I'm melting, I'm melting. I do believe I saw that in that cinematic masterpiece, The Wizard of Oz. uh, but yeah, so again, I will accept this, but those other two, not so much. And then, of course, there's this. So, one minute, she's sitting up there trying to drum up these emotions. And this is someone who went through the entirety of Queen Elizabeth's funeral and did not shed a tear. Now, all of a sudden, she can barely compose herself. Really? This is the one who went through the entire funeral process for the Queen and publicly didn't share not nan tear. Even when her daughter was crying in front of her, she didn't seem to be overcome with emotions. It seemed like there was more ice running through her veins than ever. Now, all of a sudden, she puts on this big performance in front of the crowd and, more importantly, in front of the cameras, never to be seen like that before. But all of a sudden, the queen is gone. She's getting closer to the prize, and now she can't contain herself until she turned around and started exchanging little funny stuff with Camilla. Then all of a sudden, she was all smiles, all photoshopped, smoothed out, colored, filtered smiles. These are the photoshops, of course. And remember, this is one of my old slides. I told you the mail would airbrush our photos. Thank you, Lord Nappyhead, for the invisible contract. I think this one was for last year, maybe for last year. But yeah, I told you. I told you they would Photoshop us. And then, of course, there is today. Now, notice I didn't cover up Kaiser at Celebici. That feeling when she slashed your clothes. I'm sorry, one more time. That feeling when he slashed your clothing, wig, and Botox budget, sent you to live a 4-bedroom separation cottage, and he won't pay off your grifter parents' debts. All of this, of course, is alleged, but wow. Like I said, love me some Celebici. They go there. They will go there. I'm just glad they're on the right side. So it does kind of look like a budget cut. Cheap wigs, those mysterious visits to the hairdresser. I won't say the B word, but those mysterious visits to the hairdresser. I mean, I don't know that there's been any intervention like the BOTOX, but um, uh, but yeah. So that is what they're saying is that there's been a budget cut, and of course, here's just a couple. Let me see. Are those two the same? Yeah, that is the same as the other one. But yeah, so that is the stark reality of today's session. So the thing is, some of the news organizations will just buy the photos raw from the um, Getty. They don't do anything to them, they just buy them. So sometimes people just choose to post the image without touching them up, which I appreciate that. I mean, you might as well just show the authentic true self, right? Right. Now, if you notice the hat that she had on today, well, that hat, wait, see there with that weird kind of bow? That hat is something that she's had, I believe, since 2003. That is Kate Middleton 2003. Yes, that was when she went to, I think the occasion was William was graduating from Sandhurst or whatever. And she and her family were invited to the occasion. And that was supposed to be like one of those big dress up moments for Kate before she married into the royal family. But yeah, so that hat is easily 20 years old now. Wait, was it 2006? I think it was 2006. So not quite 20 years old, but yeah, 2006. Yep. And so when I saw the hat, I said, "Oh, I got that cartoon of her," and only to find out that that was a real outfit because they showed the outfit. I'm like, "Yes, I have that already." So yeah, there you go. That is Kate Middleton looking all about the Kate Middleton. Now, Solemn Kate wells up with emotion as joined Camilla on Whitehall balcony to witness King Charles and Prince William lead the Remembrance Sunday service at the cenotaph. Again, with the wells up with tears. Um, it looked like she is pushing hard, biting the inside of her mouth, pinching her thigh, and everything else she could think of to try to look emotional. I don't buy it. I'm just not buying it. Um, Again, I have to say the whole thing about the Botox is alleged. We don't know that she's ever done that. Yes, sometimes she looks a little different. She looks rested and hydrated, but other than that, I'm not really here to critique her appearance. I don't care what she looks. I don't care what she looks like. She is a hardworking mother of three and future sovereign, and she deserves our every respect. And if not that, she deserves our encouragement, our encouragement, not discourage encouragement. Yes, she. Oh, I can't hardly get it out. She deserves our encouragement. Ooh, do you know my face got hot when I was trying to say that? I couldn't swallow for a second. She deserves our help. Oh God, that's hard. I couldn't hardly get the words out. Ooh. Oh well. Um, that was tough. I mean, my face thing got hot. All right. I feel like I lost consciousness for a second, choking on those words. But oh well, she did the best she could. I wonder if she's ever taken a drama class before. I think so. Didn't she take drama in high school or whatever, something like that? Now, last year I was no, it was 2021. The Queen was not there, and for some reason I was a bit confused. Number one, is that a bird nest on Camilla's head? And number two, why does it seem like Sophie is wearing a bag full of dog dew on her head? And number three, why is Kate in the middle of the balcony? If they do it by rank, Kate should be where Camilla is standing. I've said this before. And Camilla should be in the middle if they're going to do it by rank. Camilla's not supposed to be on the end. She should be in the middle. When it was the Queen, Kate, and Camilla, the Queen was in the middle. So why do they have Camilla off to the side? Is that like some veiled reference to side piece? Side piece of chicken, that is, not side piece, but side piece of chicken. Yeah, is that some reference to that bird nest like hairdo? And y'all know a sad piece I'm talking about. But yeah, so which reminds me, today they made a big fuss today about how Kate reminded Camilla of Camilla's rank, right? They said today that Kate, let me see, I'm trying to find the two of them side by side. But yeah, they said that Kate reminded Camilla that she was supposed to be the first one to leave the balcony. And by the way, you guys, there was only the two of them on the balcony today. There were only the two of them. Sophie was on another balcony. Sophie did not join them today. I don't know why, but Sophie was not part of the group or the two of them there. It was just those two and no Sophie this time. Sophie was someplace else, not with Kate and Camilla. Not sure what that means, but she wasn't with them today. Now, if you take a look here, the two occasions that Meghan was on the balcony, and I believe it was only the two, and this is the balcony again at the some government office. I forget which one, but it's at the Whitehall complex of buildings for the government. And so Meghan wore the outfit on the right side. I think that's the one she wore the first time. And then the second time she wore the one with the bigger hat. But those are the two occasions. And did Meghan wear that hat on the right side to the visitation or the whatever that was for the Queen? Didn't she wear that to the Palace of Westminster, the Great Hall? I think she wore that hat for that occasion. Maybe. I know she wore that smaller hat one day, but I think that was the one. Let's see. She was pregnant in the left pic. Okay. Okay. Thank you. So it would have had to have been November 2018, and then November 2019, and then November 2020. They were in the United States. Okay. Okay. Let me see there. And maybe the sunlight was shining directly on that spot, and Cruella de Vil was afraid of melting. uh, Desiree Dotson, thank you for being here. Yeah. Well, like I said, I just I couldn't help but notice a few things today. So, what can I say? Designer, Primark. One of the squaddies went there. Designer hat or Primark? Primark being a discount store, of course. It does seem like she was trying to get a hat very similar to the style that Meghan wore, but it just wasn't working out for her. It seems like the hat started bending up the closer it got to her. Oh, yeah. The closer the hat got to her, it just started bending up like it was melting or something. But yeah, that's strange. I mean, I'm sure it was a perfectly good hat, and then she put it on and it just started crinkling up. Oh, man. I'm telling you, the Sussex Squad is sharp. What can I say? Designer, Primark. Designer, Dollar Tree. Designer, Dollar General. Yeah, you name it. It's like the difference between going to a I don't know, Bloomingdale's or Bergdorf Goodman compared to I don't know, J.C. Penney, Sears, Roebuck and Company. Oh man. Now, let's see. Don't let her resign. Sack her. So I believe the first minister. Oh yeah, that's the guy from Scotland. The first minister called as Braverman breaks silence to condemn pro-Palestinian march after far-right disorder. Yeah, he said, don't even bother with trying to let her resign. Just get rid of her yesterday. But Suella Braverman said some provocative words, and some people feel as though that is what caused all of the commotion in London yesterday with the far right groups. So I don't want to condemn Suella because I don't know exactly what she said, but that's what they said she said. But she said something that seemed to set everybody off, and next thing you know, the EDL people, the very alt-right, right-wing, sometimes white supremacists, were fighting with the police. And I think what it was Suella said, "Don't trust the police to protect the cenotaph." So the right wingers decided that they would go and protect the cenotaph from disorder that never happened. And let me go back to yesterday's slide so I can explain this properly as best I can, just for the benefit of those who don't know what happened. I will do my best to explain it to you. But so they were planning for this big protest in London, right? And when I say they, I mean the people who want a ceasefire, people who want to stop the genocide, people who want to, um, you know, the ones that want to stop all bloodshed, however they phrase it, they want to stop all bloodshed, right? So Suella Braverman, as best I understand it, she said, "Don't trust the police to protect the cenotaph from the protesters." The protesters were protesting in peace. The only time that there were problems was when they ran into the right wingers, right? They were not planning to do anything to the cenotaph. As a matter of fact, there was a ceremony at the cenotaph yesterday, and they were Saturday, they were very respectful to not even start the rally or the march until after that that first visit that people had to the cenotaph, right? They didn't want to disrupt or interrupt or anything like that. They just wanted to make their voices heard. So Suella, she puts that energy out there like, oh, they're going to try to do something to the cenotaph. And so the right wingers who were in the pubs and such pours out into the streets, and they decide that they are going to, go to the cenotaph, and they fought the police to get to it. They were literally fighting the police. The police were trying to use their bodies to prevent the crowd from reaching the cenotaph. So these are the peaceful protesters, and this is the EDL, the right wingers. They were the ones in the pubs, and then they poured out of the pubs and into the streets. A lot of them were drunk and using some pretty foul language on their way to the cenotaph. But they're blaming Suella Braverman and her language. They're blaming her. Where's that other photo I had from yesterday? Anyway, they're blaming her for provoking people into the chaos that happened yesterday. So recollections may vary. That's all I can say is recollections may vary. Oh, I know what I'm looking for. Let me see. Gonna have to go back and look for it. Uh-huh. I feel like I'm going the wrong direction. Oh, yeah, that's it. That's it right there. So take a look on the left side. I shared this yesterday. So the Evening Standard, they posted a picture of the pro-Palestinian ceasefire, stop the genocide, all of whatever they phrase it. They used their photo under the caption, "Fights break out between police and groups attempting to reach the cenotaph." But it wasn't them. It was the people on the right side, the ones that were in the pubs drinking, that were fighting with the police. The right wingers, the EDLs, those are the ones that were fighting the police. The police have their backs turned and are literally pushing against that crowd to keep them away from the cenotaph. That's how desperately they wanted to get over there. And if Suella would have kept her big mouth shut, none of that would have likely have happened. So that is what she did. And that's why people are saying Just go. Just go. You cannot be trusted. I felt physically ill after seeing image of Camilla wearing Queen Elizabeth II's diamond diadem at the first state opening of Parliament. Uh, After Queen's passing is still too recent. Queen's passing is still too recent, and this was such a distasteful and wicked move. I must admit, I must admit, um, blood diamonds or not, stolen diamonds or not, it makes a bad situation worse. Knowing everything that Charles and Camilla has done to get to this point, and then to see her wearing the favorite headpiece that the Queen has worn all these years, to see her parading around with it is just a little bit too much. It is way too much. I don't like it either. I don't like it. I could have gone a lifetime and never saw that, and I would have felt that much better. You all, I know that a lot of you all are not for monarchy. You may have your feelings about the Queen. She should have done this. She could have done that. But have mercy. That's all I can say is have mercy. This is just so disgusting to look at. Charles was actively involved in the destruction of his marriage, right? So I'm not blaming Camilla solely for that. However, you can never not see this and not think that that was supposed to be Princess Diana, Queen Diana sitting there, not Camilla. But yet, there goes scheming, conniving Camilla wearing the Queen's diadem. So, yeah, I just can't look at it any other way. All of the malicious scheming and plotting, and then to attack Harry just to try and recover from it, to try and salvage what's left of your dignity. Then you target her son. You target Diana's son so that you can sit there and wear that thing on your head. Never get past that. And isn't it striking when you look at that and you can see that even at 90 years old, over 90 years old, Camilla still looks older than the Queen. Camilla still looks older than the Queen. Move about as well as the Queen too, but looks just about as old as the Queen, if not older. But you know what? When you've lived a life like that, maybe that's what you deserve. So anyway, let's get away from that. Ugh. I love the collages that the Sussex Squad puts together. There's 3 of them here. The left, the middle, and then on the right, King Harry. But yeah, the Sussex Squad puts together these amazing collages, and I am here for it. Here's another 2. The good king, his queen. Very, very cool. So thank you, Squaddies, for putting these together. It's like a one of those what do you call it? One of those memory boards or whatever. All right. There is David Wiseman. JJ is all the way there in the back. Can you see him? JJ is in the back with the khaki pants on. And there's David Weissman there with his beret. They were out marching today or yesterday at the cenotaph. They took their trip past the cenotaph. After the ceremony, there's like a parade of people that make their way past the cenotaph on Remembrance Day. And they were just a couple of them. I don't recognize those other people, but I do recognize JJ and I do recognize David. I tell you, David looks good in anything he wears. What is he like? 6'5", 6'6"? Whatever he wears, it looks good on him. There's just some people, clothes are just made for them. You know what I mean? Me personally, I tend to run counter whatever the designer's intention was. I tend to counter that when I try on nice things. But then there's someone like David. Everything looks good on him. And there they are. They were on television. They had, I think BBC, among others, covered it. And you could see it streamed live. But there they are. Now JJ's closer. He's the second guy there. And in the middle, you can see David. So very cool. Nice to see them. Nice to see some friendly faces, right? Good to see some friendly faces. Oh, B. Martin is, oh gosh, it's all I could do. You know what I'm saying? It's all I could do. I don't like that. You know, it's just like rewarding horrific behavior. That's what it is. It's rewarding that behavior. And the smug attitude that she must have when she helps herself to the jewelry. You know, I would rather see it on Kate than to see it on Camilla. But knowing what Kate has been capable of, I'm not so thrilled about her either. But it is what it is. Now, let's get to Afua. Afua. So I had mentioned yesterday that she went there, and I could not find the soundbite. But today I made sure that I had the soundbite. Okay. So, wow, Robert Jobson said Omid Scobie is not the Sussex's official mouthpiece, and Omid is actually a good journalist. Jobson said it's not fair to say that. Okay. Well, you all, when Robert Jobson does his job properly, he does a good job. And when he's being shady, he can be just as bad as Angela Levin or Camilla Tominey or any other one. When he's good, he's good. And when he's bad, he's awful. And I do mean awful. So let me grab that for you. Oh, I had something so good to eat, you all. I made a bacon, avocado on sourdough with some cheese, and oh, it was so good. It was so good. Smeared just a little ranch on the bread, just a little thin layer of ranch, but it was bacon, avocado, and cheese on some sourdough bread. Oh, talk about good. I made like a panini. I don't have a panini press, but I just grilled it in the skillet with some of that Irish butter. Oh my God, talk about something good. And it just, I don't know, it was so good. It was so good. Without feeling heavy and overwhelming, it was delicious. Sourdough bread, avocado. It would have been nice if I had some thinly sliced tomatoes, but Yeah, you could dress it up any way you want to, but that avocado and bacon on sourdough, woo! Talk about some good eating. All right, let me get that sound bite. And I sprinkled some seasoning on it. I don't know what kind of season it is. I even read the bottle because I'm like, this is so good. It's got to have an MSG in it. But I didn't see any MSG, but it was so good. And it gives everything kind of a meaty taste for some reason. When I run out of that seasoning, I am going to be crying like a rat eating onions. I put it on just about everything, any kind of protein. I put that seasoning on it. Okay, now let me get that sound bite. But that sandwich was so good, I didn't want it to end. You hear me? I did not want it to end. Okay, Jobo, where are you, Jobo? Hot dog. You know what? I done lost Jobo again. No, I'm just kidding. No, I didn't. I know where it is.
Omid Scobie's new book, Endgame, will deal with allegations of race and bigotry within the royal family. The unofficial spokesman for Harry and Meghan, who wrote a biography of the couple called Finding Freedom in 2020, unveiled the cover of his latest book this week, calling it a penetrating investigation into the current state of the British monarchy. Jack, I can't wait.
I'm excited about it. I think it's going to be good. I think it's going to be good. I'm looking forward to it. I will get my copy in advance, and I will have to keep my mouth shut until publication date. But it's getting, Finding Freedom. Some people liked it, some people criticised it, but it had newslines, reportable newslines on every page, virtually in every chapter. Yeah. So I think it's going to make huge waves. We're going to be talking about it for weeks afterwards. So it's going to be really interesting to see what new stuff he's got in there.
Yeah, absolutely. But Robert, some people have argued that because Harry and Meghan said they're not doing any more look-back projects, perhaps that should apply to their friends too. Should that apply to Omid Scobie?
Is he? I mean, he's a mouthpiece now. He was a mouthpiece. He's not a friend. I mean, he's just squeezing the last bit out the orange. It's as simple as that. It's going to be an interesting read. I like Omid. I like him personally. I work with him at ABC. Good Morning America. But to say he's their unofficial spokesman, that's pushing it, to be honest. I think if you read Spare and you read other books, there were contradictions all the way through there. And Omid always says he's not that. I think he's a pretty good journalist. I think he gets on with it and tries to discover the best. And as an author myself of many books, I mean, I will read it with great interest, and I hope it sells bucket loads.
Yes.
Me too. Well, that's all we've got time for this week. My thanks to Jack and Robert. If you want to join in with the debate, please leave.
So, Afua, if I'm saying her name right, Afua, or Alpha, now she was upset because she compared Meghan to being as polarized. She said, well, Meghan, in some respects, or however she said it, Meghan and Donald Trump are both very polarizing figures. And she actually was feeding into that narrative that Meghan was trying to run for the United States Senate. And of course, I believe she was on there with Jack, what's his name there, who looks so tiny sitting next to Robert Jobson. But to be fair, everybody looks tiny sitting next to him. So a lot of people in the Sussex Squad went after her, and she was so distraught and so upset, but she chose to go on Good Morning Britain and hitch her wagon to that narrative about Meghan running for the Senate. Every time anybody does anything remotely, shall we say, provocative, or I guess I'm trying to say it like this. Let me just put it as simple as I can. If you perpetuate those talking points, those negative talking points that are designed for clickbait, then you are just as guilty as the rest of the tabloid media, because those types of talking points leads to 1, 2, 3, or 4 news cycles filled with hostility and disdain for someone who any logical person know is not running for Senate. If you had any knowledge of how politics work, then you know that the Democrat governor of California is not going to take a first-time novice to politics and put them in place, bypassing everybody in the state who has helped to raise funds, who has been groomed for years, like they did Kamala Harris. Kamala Harris was groomed for years to be where she is today. So was Barack Obama, and so was a lot of the Republicans. You don't bypass those people and put Meghan in there because she's a household name. And she knows that. But because that was the talking points, she went on and of course she paid the price, because then the Sussex Squad gave her the what for. And then what did she do? She was crying and she was upset, and the most bizarre part of that is that she happened to have been in contact with one of the people in the Sussex Squad, and she mentioned how upset she was and how confused she was that so many people were being mean to her. Keep Meghan's name out of your mouth. That's how you solve that. Keep her name out of your mouth. Don't go on TV helping the right-wing media target another Black woman. You do that, and nobody's going to look at you twice. But if you do that, then maybe that's what you want, is for somebody to look at you twice. And even worse, tell you about yourself. And they did tell her about herself, and she was some kind of upset. You hear me? But yet, she still haven't gotten enough, has she? Because there she is, stirring the flames, or stoking the flames, if you will, on there, telling people how Omid Scobie is the Sussex mouthpiece. And girl, cease and desist. Just stop. Just stop it. To me, it hurts worse when I see a Black woman going after another Black woman. It just, the most vulnerable in society is the one that everyone seems to think is the strongest and doesn't need anybody's help. But society constantly targets Black women because of their strength. They target Black women. And in the UK, it is a sport to go after Black women, especially American Black women. It is a sport to go after Black women. I don't know what the fascination is that white men, professional victims, of course, the white men like Donald Trump, who's always a victim, Pierce Morgan, who's always a victim, Jeremy Clarkson, he's a victim. They're always victims after they get called out for going after women, and in particular, Black women. So she asked for that. And there she is, still at the same tricks, doing the same thing. I get it. You want to be on TV. You have to make a living. You wanted to be a journalist. But television is not what it used to be. Television is cruel, ignorant, mean-spirited. You have to compete with me. You have to compete with a lot of people on social media. And to do that, I guess you have to go to the dark side. But what she did was uncalled for. She got called out for it, and it seems like she hasn't learned a lesson yet. So all I can say is you get what you got coming. Oh, thank you so much, AL, for the PayPal. Okay, thank you very much. It is a belated birthday PayPal, but thank you very much for that. But yeah, so there she goes again. but for the grace of God, there goes Afua still at it. You know, I don't know. I don't know. I just if that's how I have to make it, then I'd have to find something else to do. I'd have to find something else to do. I just don't like a bunch of nonsense. And all of this is just nonsense. It really is nonsense. And rightly so. Jobo called her out for it. Jobo called her out. Now, not Saint Jobo. He's far from that, because Jobo can be a mess when he wants to be as well. As evident. So now, Kensington Palace did awful lot of leaking on Harry and Meghan, claims royal commentator. So there's Robert Jobson actually saying something logical. There he is. Kensington Palace was involved in an awful lot of leaking about Prince Harry and Meghan, royal commentator Robert Jobson has claimed. Now, he said that back in November of 2021. I guess he must have had a lapse of judgment or something, but he did. And then, of course, take a look over here on the right side. Do not buy this book. Yeah, do not buy this book. Robeson, well, let me see. Yeah, Robeson, not Jobson, but Robeson. Whoever wrote that was so upset they called him Robeson. Robeson was working with Meghan Markle's mouthpiece, Omid Scobie, to discredit rather, members of royal family. Boycott Robeson. They saw a picture of Robert Jobson. Now, this is a deranger, of course. They saw a picture of Robert Jobson standing there with Omid Scobie. And this was at the time when Robert Jobson had finished that book about Charles III. And so this was one of the derangers trying to tell people not to buy the book, which is strange because nobody buys those books anyway. None of those royal authors sell that many books. They do not. Just as a rule, they do not sell a lot of books. Robert Jobson has written many books, and they don't sell. You could go on Amazon and see how many units have sold. Very few. But that's not the point. Writing those books gives him access to King Charles and the rest of the royal family. Writing those books means that you get to go to Kenya. Writing those books means that you get to do Good Morning America and several other talk shows. That's the access it buys you. It's not how many books you sell, it's about the access that you can attain because you are helping to perpetuate a lot of misinformation. Like, for instance, the way that they have rewritten the history about Princess Diana. Every time another book comes out, Diana is more and more paranoid, confused, mentally ill. Everything you could think of, you could turn it up by another 10 points every time a book comes out, because that is part of their job, is to rewrite the history, is to try to confuse fact and fiction. And not only that, don't forget, they also do the documentaries. Every time there's a documentary and you feel like you're about to learn something, what happens? Oh, there goes Camilla Tominey. There goes Roy Anika. There goes Robert Jobson. And at that point, you know what I do? I switch it off. When I see that, I'd be like, oh, God. And I just have to turn it off because I know at that point that I'm going to get the gaslighting of a lifetime. So I just turn it off. But this is why Robert Jobson was so polite and kind and thoughtful with Omid Scobie. Well, there they are, the dynamic duo. This is the Queen's Platinum Jubilee, and there they are working right outside of St. Paul's and making some nice money from American television. So as long as there's a possibility that the two of them could work together again, I doubt if Robert Jobson is going to go after Omid Scobie. And I'm pretty sure that, considering Omid Scobie seems to be a very likable person, maybe you would think twice about going after him. But that doesn't stop some of them. I mean, there's some of the people in the tabloid media that they don't have anything polite to say about Omid Scobie, especially what's his name? Oh gosh, I can't believe I'm forgetting his name already. Dan Wooten. Dan Wooten used to rag on Omid all the time. Oh, he hated Omid Scobie. So not everybody likes him. But the thing is, a lot of them are very, very good writers. They can be amazing journalists, but as long as they have this gravy train, the royal family, doing all this editing and writing and talking and all that kind of stuff and traveling, they have no desire to change their ways. So now, this is one of my favorite Robert Jobson moments. Yes, I'm going to tell this story again. Picture it. Camilla Tominey, exclusive. Harry and Meghan reject Earl of Dumbarton title for Archie because it contains the word dumb. Now, that sounds like something that a reporter with a burner account would have gotten from a deranger. And it sounded plausible, so they decided to report it as this fact. And so that was another reason for people to hashtag Camilla is a liar, because this was yet another one of those fabricated, made up, and not even logical things. Harry and Meghan reject Earl of Dumbarton title for Archie. Sources reveal they declined the use of the title as they fear their son would be bullied or attract unfortunate nickname. That was in the Daily Telegraph, courtesy of Camilla Tominey. And who goes after her? Jobo. Robert Jobson says Archie Harrison is Earl of Dumbarton whether he likes it or not. Robert Jobson rages. And then on top of that, Robert Jobson pointed out that Harry is already the Earl of Dumbarton, so there cannot be two at the same time. So when Harry is no longer here, then automatically Archie becomes the Earl of Dumbarton, period. Unless Harry rejects that title right now, then it's going to pass on to his son. You're supposed to be a royal expert, Camilla Tominey. How do you not know this? That was embarrassing. That was a stupid lie, not even worthy of her. And there she is, making up stuff yet again. They're afraid he might get bullied. And Robert at the small print says, oh my God, that is small. Let me see. It says, Archie will inherit the Earl of Dumbarton title from Prince Harry, whether he likes it or not. The royal expert has raged. So not only did he tweet it, but then it was in the papers. Dummy. How dumb could you be? How dumb could you be? You're supposed to be a royal expert, right? This is what you're paying, or what they're paying you big bucks to know, is that Harry is the Earl of Dumbarton, and when he's done with the title, then it will go to his son. The only way to ensure that wouldn't happen would be to actively rid yourself of it, But if you're going to do that, then wouldn't that encourage them to take everything? Yeah, so you would have to rid yourself of it not to pass it on to your child. Otherwise, like it or not, you're the Earl of Dumbarton, you're the Duke of Sussex, and the Baron of Kilkeel, or whatever it is. So, yeah, that was just monumentally stupid. Harry is the Earl of Dumbarton already. When he is in Scotland, Archie is the heir to that title. Period. I wonder if they still talk to each other, because that was a whoop, there it is, if I've ever seen one. I mean, he dusted the floor with her. That made her look so stupid. I don't think any of the Sussex Squad could have made her look dumber than Robert Jobson did. Know the signs. This is how you know that you're obsessed. The scrunched brow, the pursed lips, the tight jaw, the crazy eyes. She's obsessed with Meghan. I don't know what it is about Meghan that triggers a certain demographic, but it just seems to trigger them. It triggers them. And then they say the stupidest things in response to the fact that Meghan is thriving. They just say some of the stupidest things. They make up stuff. But then there's the Robert Jobson, the messy Robert Jobson. Messy. The government must ban Harry from his father's coronation. He'll turn a sacred solemn rite into a circus. Do you all think that Robert Jobson care what happens at that what happened or what would happen at the coronation? Do you all think that he actually give a rat's behind about that coronation? I don't know where he got his marching orders from. That sounds like a brief from Clarence House, if you ask me. Whatever the case may be, he does stuff like that. And when he does it, it's so clumsy and monumentally repugnant that, again, for someone as intelligent as he is, this type of stuff is so beneath him. As a matter of fact, about half of the postal codes in London is beneath him at any given time. Woo! But that is just so beneath him. I'm just really disappointed. I'm so disappointed because he's so much better than that, you all. He is so much better than that. Sometimes when he speaks without cunning and conniving talking points, you almost feel like you're talking to a reasonable, intelligent person. But when he goes to the dark side, he goes to the dark side. There is no other way to put it. When he goes to the darkness, he goes to the darkness. Now, let me play this little sound bite for you. Actually, yeah, is it a sound bite? No, actually, I think it's a video. I think it's a video. Let me see if I can find that one. Oh, trigger warning. There's a lot of gasping and grunting. You know, Robert Jobson. There's a lot of gasping and grunting. It sounds a bit like a death rattle, but you'll get by.
Right in the book about when they try to force that Fab Four thing on us during the Queen's death, you know, that sort of fake walkabout when they're supposed to be together, that Kate said to another member of the royal family that it was one of the hardest things she ever had to do. Now, then immediately on Twitter you get all those Sussex troll idiots saying, well, you need to get out more if that's the hardest thing she ever done. You know, but you know, the point of it is that it was a very difficult.
So there you go. There you go. Did that finish? Yeah, it did finish. Let me see here. Sir Baron, such a pleasure to be able to be here live and your beautiful squaddies. It's a pleasure to share your company. Well, thank you so much for being here. Let me get caught up on some of these. Okay. Let me see. Why are these black women tearing down other black women, especially Meghan? She does nothing but build up black women. Meghan is so sweet and kind-hearted. Meghan is a girl's girl. Meghan is all for girl power, empowerment of women. She has done that since she was a child. She has tried to empower other women. Just like the girl in her school that seemed to be a bit of a loner and was having a rough time, Meghan took the time to write a note to that young lady and give her as much encouragement as possible. That was a very mature thing for a child to do for another child, but yet there she was. That has been something that she's done always. But yet you have these very angry women that don't support other women. They just, they're the gatekeepers. They go after any woman who is quote unquote woke or liberal or empowered or self-sufficient. They go after them. They're for some reason they're a threat. And they're encouraged by the likes of a hoghead Pierce Morgan and such. So yeah, that is Malin Albright. Women that don't help other women, there's a special place in hell for them. And in particular, as always, targeting black women. That just seems to be a sport for some of them. And then the fact that a lot of the British tabloid journalists, they reach over here. They reach over here to go after Simone Biles or Serena Williams or Meghan Markle. And of course, they started in on Kamala Harris. They always do that. They always do that. It's like a sport. What can I get away with? Let me see. Audrey Teschner, bronchitis has me a bit down the last 3 weeks. Audrey Teschner, I'm so sorry to hear that. I'm so sorry to hear that. Well, I hope it clears up. Gosh, I hope well, I don't want to ask you if you're taking anything for it, but if there's anything that you can do, please do it, because that's very scary when you are congested or or labored in any kind of way. That is a scary, scary feeling. So I hope it clears up. I mentioned before, when I was traveling, I figured the only thing that could go wrong is me getting some kind of lung infection. And God told me, God said, listen, black man, go find that prescription. Well, it wasn't a prescription, but it was a, how they staple that paperwork on the prescription bag. Go find that and tear that little name off of there and put it in your wallet. This was back in 2009. So I did, because I figured I'm going to be gone for 32 days. And the only thing that could mess this up is one of my usual maladies. So let me just take it just in case. And boy, did that come in handy. I was suffering for like about 2 weeks. Was it 2 weeks? About a week. Coughing and hacking and just every time I tried to go to sleep, I could not sleep because, that congestion would fill up in my chest and come up the back of my throat and everything. So I went to a pharmacy in Germany, right? And I begged the lady, I said, I'm on vacation. I know that this works. Nobody will give it to me because I don't have a prescription. And she was so kind and so thoughtful. I mean, you could just see that her heart was breaking for me. And she said, I'm not supposed to do this, but you have taken it before. I said, yeah, I have. I said, that's why I brought it with me, is just to make sure I could have the name of it. And so she gave it to me. And that saved me, because otherwise I would have been in really bad shape. It could have turned into something even worse. So I will never forget that kindness that I got from that pharmacist. I could still see her face in my mind's eye. I could still see her face. And that saved me. And within a day, I instantly felt better. 2 days, it was gone. So, well, I got my energy back and I wasn't coughing like crazy. So, yeah, I can, anytime I hear someone, is having a problem, it just reminds me of that situation. So I hope it clears up and I pray you feel better. And thank you for the super chat. And sometimes the season, the season, if there's like a lot of pollen or something like that, that could wreak havoc for you. Dampness, pollution, pollen, all of those things can be a culprit. So let me see here. I'm getting caught up with some of your comments here. Oh, I guess I am caught up. Well, let me finish, Jobo. Prince William has a notably short fuse in private and can sometimes be difficult to handle, a royal author has claimed. Again, I do think that this is briefing from Clarence House. I think that Charles is terrified of William and don't ever confront him about anything. And so a lot of times when people have something to say to William, they'll brief through when family members have something to say to William, they will brief through the press. And I suspect this is one of those things, only because Robert Jobson, as you can see, seems to be very chummy with Charles III. And of course, he wrote a couple of books about Charles III, which sold about 10 copies each. Oh, and you ought to, by the way, take a look here, you guys. Happy birthday, Elaine Parker. I totally had forgot to do a birthday card for Elaine Parker. Elaine Parker has not only been a member of Royal Sussex and supports Royal Sussex almost all the time whenever she's on, and other Sussex-friendly spaces. And of course, thanks to Elaine Parker and many other people, we are able to, keep these channels going. And so I wanted to do something special. So there was one card, and then two, and then two more. Happy birthday, Elaine Parker from Sussex Squad family. And then, of course, from the Sussexes, it's Elaine Parker's birthday. And lastly, from the Royal Rhoda. Happy birthday, Elaine, from the Royal Rhoda. And of course, there's a couple of images of the Royal Rhoda. I don't remember which of the actual journalists those are, but they're interchangeable. They could be any of them, I guess. But yeah, there you go. So happy birthday again to Elaine Parker. So we actually celebrated after midnight because I was still on, and then it was her birthday, and I neglected to do the card at that point. But anyway, we got there eventually in the end. So there you go. And you see there, Elaine Park is so popular, even the royal rodents are celebrating. You're special when they're on board with it, right? Right. Let me see. Oh, I still got about Oh boy, I think I still got about 15 slides left. So not only is there copy Kate, but now there's cosplay copycat copy Will. One of the squaddies pointed out Prince of Wales, now cosplay, and Peggy are doing black and white photos like Harry and Meghan. Is there anything authentic about these two mediocre frauds? The desperation is real. Oh, God. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Sad but true. They lack authenticity. They are shameless about copying the Sussexes. Shameless about it. If it worked for Harry and Meghan, then it's got to work for us. They're trying to erase what's so unique about the Sussexes. So certain things that you can search for with Meghan, guess who's going to pop up? Guess who pops up again and again? And it's kind of jarring because you expect to see Meghan's beautiful, delicate, feminine face, and all of a sudden, bam, there goes Kate. You expect to see those graceful cheekbones, that sculpted nose, and lovely, determined chin, and of course that silky hair, and that delicate smile. You always expect to see that, and you're searching for something with Meghan, and what happens? Bam! Yeah, that's what happens. Or sometimes you want to see those lovely, deep, lipid pools of brown eyes, and of course that wonderful gait when she walks, the way she swings her hips and those shoulders and all that kind of stuff. That is what you're looking for. You're looking for Meghan. You're searching, you're looking, and you're anticipating. Oh yeah, I want to see Meghan with that tan coat on, and oh, I love that photo. And all of a sudden, bam, there's Kate. Kate. And the reason why that keeps happening is because of stuff like this. You'll find, okay, to be fair, let's say there's about 50 photos of Meghan on the screen, but there's going to be at least 2 of Kitty. There's going to be at least 2. And that is because of this effort. And don't forget, you guys, the guy that is running their communications when it comes to the internet, I would suspect he's very adept at what he's doing. And so the search engine is going to keep producing these 2. And I think that's part of the plan. That is obviously part of the plan. Very disappointing because, you want to see the Sussexes, and then those 2 misfits keep popping up. But, what can you do? Is the desired effect. And it's the same with Princess Diana. They have done so much, with William's help, by the way. They have done so much to try to overlap and erase Diana's memory. Try to make a character in their own image rather than the actual Diana. It's just very, very jarring and disturbing. And that is one of the things that the royal authors and the royal reporters do, is they help to create a myth. And then the myth that is eventually becomes the truth as they know it. They want future generations to see things differently. And they've been working on that with Diana for years. They have been working on that. And now Meghan. Meghan's impact in that short period of time that she was over there was so great that it's going to take years to try to dismantle it. But the problem is that Meghan and Harry are creating new memories on this side of the ocean. So while they may get their way over there, I don't know that that's going to have any effect over here. It's going to be a different story over here because the connections that the Sussexes are making and have, made their whole lives, even before they met, they've had an incredible impact on the people that have gotten to know them. And that's why, in spite of everything that the tabloid media, Kensington Palace, Clarence House, in spite of all of the vicious attacks, they still haven't been able to tear Meghan down. And of course, there's the Sussex Squad. That which they did not anticipate, the support of the Sussex Squad. If there was a Sussex Squad for Princess Diana, she'd probably still be here. But when you know better, you do better, as Maya Angelou would say. When you know better, you do better. Well, we know better, and we're doing better. So, not going to work this time. Not going to work.
Is it painful being that jealous? Does it suck a lot of energy out of you? The hate for Black women on and off this app is astonishing. And I gotta give you props because y'all craft your videos in a way where you don't outwardly say, I hate Black women, but you do all the dog whistles that imply that you do. Meghan Markle is beautiful, intelligent, kind, and you take so many digs at her in your video that I can only assume you wish that you were her. And y'all will reach so far to try to find flaws in her and in their relationship, and it is embarrassing, babes. Stop it. And lastly, in a world full
madman, and he looks utterly miserable.
Quick question. Is it painful being that
So I feel like she is grinning like a madman, and he looks utterly miserable.
Quick question. Is it painful being that jealous?
Okay. Yeah. And that's what a lot of it is. It is jealousy. It is jealousy. Let me see. Who is a setup to try and get some of the radicals, is it? Radicals back on the radar as if they are fair journalists. She was told to say, she said, and Robert Jobson stuck it to her. Yeah, I mean, how many times have you all heard me say it? All of those panels, that is performative. That is theater. The View is theater. Loose Women, theater. All of those shows are theater. It's a lot of bad actors. Now, occasionally, the truth will seep through. Occasionally. When Robert Jobson feels like saying certain things, he just says it, and it's not going to hurt him because he has an audience of one, and that is Charles III. He's in good with Charles. As long as he doesn't go after Charles, he can say whatever he wants, and he'll be okay. Some of them don't have that same luxury. Some of them would be subject to getting dressed down. But, William has his people, Charles has his people. And Robert Jobson has actually gone after William in the past. The older reporters, I don't think that they really do any campaigning for William because William has his people already. William has selected people that he briefs to, and Charles has the people that, talk for him. So they know that they don't have a place with William. They're going to be on the peripherique, as they say in France. They will be in the peripherique. They won't have a seat at the table. They will be on the perimeter, away from the central focus of things. So after, after Charles and Camilla are gone, then they don't really have a place at the table. The younger ones that William depend upon, they're the ones that he's going to turn to leak and brief and all the other stuff. So he gets away with a lot, and sometimes he uses that against other reporters, and it's up to him. Let me see. Okay. Let me see. I know we lost Diana. We are not going to lose Meghan and Harry. They will die when God is ready for them. Yeah, it's another day, Marjorie. It's another day. I don't even think in those terms. It's another day, and we know better. And the true nature of things is out there. It's just like a lot of stuff. I mean, look at the Middle East right now. Look at the Middle East. A lot of things that people have gotten away with in the past, before social media and such, they would just get away with it. It was a given. They would get away with it. But nowadays, I'm a reporter. You're a reporter. We're all correspondents. If you have a smartphone, you're a journalist. Plain and simple. And you never know when you're going to get a scoop. And that is the part of it that these tabloids cannot control. That is the part of it that the governments cannot control. The coercion that they had before, the tools that they had before, is no longer available to them. I mean, they have them, but it's just not the same. It's just not the same. There are so many other ways to get information without turning to a television network or a particular newspaper. That is why the Sussexes, when they decided to clap back about the invitation to Charles' birthday, that put Messenger on the map. I had never heard of Messenger before. Now all of a sudden everybody knows Messenger. Anybody that knows about that clapback, they know it came from Messenger. So very wisely, Harry and Meghan said they're not depending on the Royal Rota. See, Diana was a victim of the Royal Rota. They don't have that control over the Sussexes. They just don't. So they're in the right place at the right time. They're going to benefit from tools that were not available to Diana. They're going to benefit from that. See, Diana was still within that system. Diana was still, on the inside, basically. I mean, yeah, she was out, but she had her children in. And as long as Charles had custody of her children, then she could never be completely away from it. But the Sussexes are financially independent, and they have some very powerful people on their side, very powerful people. So it's a different day. Not everybody likes that royal family. People tolerate them because there is a component of government official business. But in terms of people, I mean, look at how the royal families of Europe, they go about their business. They're not thinking about the Windsors. They go for a free meal, a state visit, and all that kind of stuff. They go for a funeral just to make sure that the other person is dead. They go to the weddings. Like I said, they go and they get a bunch of freebies and stuff like that, but they don't vacation with them. They don't hang out with them. They don't spend Christmas with them. They got their own business to run. So yeah, it's another day. So I don't worry about that for Harry and Meghan. They are doing just fine. And they're going to continue to evolve and grow and enrich themselves and secure their family. Okay, so let me see right here. Well, you can see the comparison. The black and white photos here, and of course, the highly stylized black and white photos that were produced for them. William has handled a camera crew. Remember how they were so critical of the Sussexes? Oh, they're always with their cameras. They got the Netflix cameras. They always got those cameras. And now Will and Kate has been late for the coronation because they were making the video. They were late for the concert after the coronation because they were making the video. Every time they go someplace, now they're making videos all the time. What's that the old saying? If you can't beat them, join them. Well, that's what they've done. They decided to join them. Okay, let me see. Here we go.
Man spots royalty in the ends.
Yeah, that's Prince William, bro.
Man spots royalty in the ends.
Yeah, that's Prince William, bro. Yeah, that.
Huh. If you can't beat them, join them. Look at William setting up the cameras, posing for the cameras. Is this my good side? Is my nose shiny? How does my head look? I was going to say hair. How does my head look? Is this okay? Does this look casual yet smart? Huh. Go figure. If you can't beat them, join them. If you can't beat them, join them. So anyway, a nice cup of tears, a cup full of the hater tears. That's what they need. They need to catch those tears in a cup because the Sussexes are thriving. They are here to stay. And very soon, they're going to be billionaires. Do you hear me? Billionaires. And of course, I told you, whenever I can, I will definitely, if there's some type of, donation that I can make and put their names on it, not because it's a big amount, of course it's not. But the thing is, it is that power of attraction, as they say. You know what I'm saying? Like when someone goes on vacation, it's always good luck to give them a couple of dollars to travel with because it will bring positive energy. It'll bring good luck, however you want to do it, however you want to say it. That's like a tradition in our family. When somebody's going on vacation, you give them a few dollars to take with them as a way to know that you're thinking about them. They'll be thinking about you. It's like sending a little love their way. So that's why I always try to make sure I can put something in their names just so that they know that this is the type of people that the Sussexes attract. The Sussex Squad has been doing that for some years now. How much has the Sussex Squad raised? Over $1 million, right? They don't have the equivalent of that with those derangers. Remember that one deranger was saying, we can't seem to connect and get together like that? They don't have that. If anything, the content creators, they plot against each other like you wouldn't believe. I mean, they literally plot against each other. They got all kind of cliques and stuff like that. It's bizarre. We don't have that. We're always supporting other people's channels and stuff. They don't do that. They got their little cliques. Okay, so take a look here. Harry overshadows William's Earthshot Award again with cringe video after stealing limelight with Netflix documentary, blah, 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 blah. Well, okay, here we go again. But William chose this time of year to do his Earthshot. Harry, to be fair, Harry's birthday has always been the same time of year. Harry's, what do you call it? Invictus Games, always been this time of year, right? This is a time when Harry is doing stuff. This is a time when Harry and Meghan are doing stuff. So why would you take your Earth flop and schedule it in America, no less? You schedule it in America, in Boston, knowing that that's Sussex season. You scheduled it in the UK around that same time, knowing that that's the Sussex season. But you did it anyway. So if you have all of the tools, if you got all of the cards, so to speak, I mean, you're the heir to the throne. You're going to be king. If you can't get people's attention as the future king, imagine how little attention people would pay him if he was just another, prince, royal duke. He's the future king and nobody cares. That's not Harry's problem. If the Cambridge Welleses, if they would just focus on home and stop trying to get America's attention, there's not a mechanism, there's nothing in William that is going to attract Americans. He's not attractive to Americans. He's not attractive to the British. Nobody's into you, and yet you keep trying. His biggest strength is just be yourself, whatever yourself is, and stop trying to be Harry. How are you going to beat Harry at being Harry? Harry has been Harry all this time, and yet you keep trying to compete. It's so sad. So sad. Just like with Diana, people would rather see Diana as opposed to seeing Charles. Not just because Diana was a beautiful woman, tall and looked gorgeous in her clothes. No, because of her strength of character. And it's the same with Harry. He just has a way with people. He has a way. And that's always been his gift. And if William could ever figure out who the real William is, then people might like him better. But if the only you is somebody else, then of course, that just doesn't work. But they just keep trying. So sad. So sad.
Princess Duchess Meghan came up to us first and was so kind and loving to us and all our babies. She talked about little Ms. Lilibet, too. Prince Duke Harry came up right behind and was exactly the same. They are mirrors of each other in their love and kindness. America's sweethearts for real.
This is the raddest thing ever.
Oh, he's coming up.
You want to go see? You want to go see your mommy? You want to run over there? They're talking to the prince. My family is talking to the prince, guys. Oh my God. You want to go over there? See your mama? Go run. Go run. Go get him. Go get him. Go get him, my boo. Get him, my baby. Deja. Go get him, baby. Get him, my baby. Look, he's so happy. Oh my God. This cannot happen any better. Happen any better?
This is amazing.
My God. Oh my God. Oh my God. I'm losing my mind, girl. I'm losing my mind. He's hanging out with my family.
Is that your family?
He's hanging out with my, they came up to my kids and my grandbabies. Is this amazing, guys?
Really? We wouldn't know. We were in the.
Service isn't loud. Service is what happens in the quiet when people aren't looking. It's about how we take care of each other every single day. It's about the camaraderie we share, the laughs, the comfort, the pain, the challenge, and yes, the banter. Throughout my time in the military and after, I recognized and understood that for many who have served or are still serving, it might not feel right to stand out amongst the team and be recognized, but you deserve to be recognized. Prince Harry, Duke of Sussex. Salute to freedom. Those words were delivered by Prince Harry on the night of the Salute to Freedom Gala on board the United States aircraft carrier, which is now a museum. On that night, the Intrepid Valor Award honorees included Air Force veteran Master Sergeant Kyle Hines, surviving spouse of Lieutenant Colonel Matt Block, Barbara Block, Army Special Forces veteran Julian Kitching, United States Navy service member Wayne T. Garvin, and Marine Chief Warrant Officer Stephen Rudinsky. Julian Kitchings shared his experience that night, and it's actually not just his experience, but it was his wife's experience that caught my attention.
Sitting with Meghan, I think it was seeing my wife sitting with Meghan Markle. So here's what happened. We walk up to this table, and I didn't realize that they weren't going to seat us together. My wife was freaked out. She was like, "Oh, where's my name?" So she's running back and forth between tables, and she never went around our table and saw that she was seated next to Meghan. And then she lights up and she said, "Oh, I'm good, honey." I'm like, "Oh," so now she doesn't want to sit next to me anymore. She was so happy. And they just talked like old friends the whole night. So it was so cool for her to be able to have that experience. I think it was really good. And it was great for me to just watch her. She was just glowing all night long. It was surreal, but also like a deep sense of gratitude, and also a sense that the journey that I was on was necessary, and that the healing that I attained, that I was able to get at home base, was something that I almost owed to my family. I was very thankful to see people in all these different spaces and places elevating this issue of people needing to getting the help that they needed. And I think for me, there was this sense at some point, and I can't remember when it popped in my head, but that I was going to get healed or die trying. And I wanted people to, I think in that moment on the Intrepid, I think I was just like, people need to get the help. And and I think what I said was that veterans out there, deserve peace. They deserve happiness. They don't have to live like this, and help is available. And so I think that if anything, I was just focused on like being up there on stage is just a representation of people that are making a choice to get help. And that's what's important. That's what's key. That's what's critical. It's not about Julian Kitchen getting an award. It's about the broader community getting the help that they deserve and that they need, and that we as a country and civic society owe them.
One of the best moments of the night, especially for Julian Kitching, was not just noticing that his wife had the delight of sitting next to the Duchess of Sussex. Regretfully, I cannot find a clear image of that, but there was also the moment when the Duchess of Sussex said, "I I mean, you could barely hear it, but the Duchess said, Northwestern, right? And he said, who told you? And she said, oh, well, I know a little bit about everybody here. And he just threw his head back and laughed. I mean, that's all he could do, because he was like just amazed that the Duchess of Sussex actually had done her research before showing up to this wonderful event. So just goes to show you how in touch the Sussexes are. They don't take anything for granted, and they don't take anybody for granted. That's it for now. Please. So, just wanted to share that with you. That is why the Sussexes are so successful. They don't have to be less than their whole and true selves. They can like give their full attention to things and not worry about clashing with other people's schedule in the family. If the other parts of that family wants to do things, then be secure enough in yourself to know that you either carry the situation or you don't. You either have people's attention or you don't. But it's not Harry and Meghan's fault that they're just plain more interesting, right? It's plain and simple. They're more interesting. People are attracted to them. When I hear people say, oh, Harry needs to do something with his hair. Harry don't need to do anything with his hair until he's ready to do it. I love the way Harry's hair frames his face. And when he's working, when he's on that camera, I mean, look at how good he looks right there. Who cares about how it looks behind him or whatever? I don't care about that. If that's what Harry wants to do, if that's what makes him comfortable, if that's what gives him his whatever, then I'm glad for it. Meghan don't care. She's not so preoccupied about being this fembot or ultra glamorous person, but when she's ready to dial it up, she dials it up. So, they're just ordinary people. They're very ordinary people in some very extraordinary situations, and they just happen to be very talented, But anybody who's ever been around the Sussexes, the first thing they say is that they're just so chill, they're so relaxed, so down to earth, which, they say that all the time, but it's true. They're just very down to earth people. I remember when they were at some function and one of the kids dropped the F-bomb and Meghan just kind of smiled and didn't even break character, Harry just kind of, didn't break character at all. It was not a big deal. They're very chill like that. And particularly the young people are very receptive to it. And that's just that. So too bad the rest of that family don't have what they have. They just don't have it. And you can't buy it. You can't cosplay it. You can't pretend it. If you have it, you have it. If you don't, you just don't. Like, look at this right here. Do you see any members of the public waiting to cheer the royal family? Where are the crowds? Now, they got up those barriers for the Remembrance Festival. See on the left side? They put those barriers up, and there's nobody there. There's nobody there. There's all this, what do they call those things? Bike fencing and stuff. And there's nobody there. It's just like in Scotland. It's just like at the first Earth shot, right? That with that one family in the background. They put all that barrier stuff up there, and there's there's nobody there. It's a waste of time because people are just not that interested. It doesn't trend in the papers the next day. When Harry and Meghan went to that Navy SEAL fitness place, it trended for days. They went to New York and it was trending for days. And look at how many times they kept writing about two different outfits. And they spent a week writing about it. Vogue, Glamour, Town and Country, all of them, they just going on and on about a Letterman jacket and that white outfit she wore. That was like 2 weeks worth of news just from that. That doesn't happen with those other people. And I'm sure Meghan has to say to herself sometime, I know I look cute, but you know, it wasn't all that. It was just a what do you call it? A Ralph Lauren shirt. Doesn't matter because Meghan wore it. It sells out and it's news. That's got to be frustrating for them. It got to be frustrating because they just don't have that. And they need to justify their existence, but there's no justification for it. You all just got lucky, Will and Kate. Will was lucky to be born when he was born, and Kate was lucky to have, the ultimate stage mother to push her along the way. That was it. They're not clever. They're not interesting. They're not particularly intelligent. They're none of those things. Never had it, never will. Yep. Just plain old Kate and plain old Will.
Yeah, I've been messing around today. I've been Belfast this morning. And then off to
You know, I was listening to, oh gosh, what is her name? You know, the Schofield, that Schofield girl. A video popped up on my YouTube from months ago. It was from months ago. Oh, matter of fact, it wasn't that long ago. It was from the Invictus Games. And she was saying that they were acting lovey-dovey and close to each other because the Invictus game is part of their brand, and for the future of their brand, they have to appear that way in public. They appear that way because they are that way. They are that way. They're not just appearing that way. They are that way. And she's on her grift too, where she has to say negative, stupid things in order to, to get her bag. She has to say some really stupid stuff. So I understand why she's doing what she's doing, why she says what she says. That is her job right now, is to be the American that got the inside scoop in Hollywood. Nobody wants to talk to them in Hollywood. They're not welcomed on the red carpet in Hollywood, just made up stuff, right? That's her job. And her job is to feed into the nonsense, is to tell the British public what they want to hear. So I get it. I don't like it, but I get it. But just like when Harry and Meghan were at that, when they were at the lunch and they run into that family, there was nothing forced or deliberate about that. They go to lunch. That family who they never met, never seen before, just happens to be there. And, Harry comes over and he's talking. And, well, actually, the lady said Meghan was first. And then Harry, and oh, look, the prince is talking to my family. I can't believe it. The prince is talking to my family. That's the people that everybody hates. That's the people that are pretending they like each other. So they go to a lunch where they don't expect to run into anybody, least of all the chance that somebody's going to record them getting out of their car or whatever. But it happened, right? They go to a concert, right? They go to a concert. They didn't know the person in the booth next to them was going to record them all night, but they did. But at the same time, they have no problem trying to perpetuate these lies that they're not close. When the truth is, the people that are struggling is Will and Kate. They're the ones struggling, not Harry and Meghan. That is the struggle, not Harry and Meghan. That's the struggle. So, you all, Invictus Team UK competitors being honored at this year's Festival of Remembrance Invictus Games. So, I talked about this a little bit yesterday, and I looked to see if I could find anywhere where they showed a reaction of the rest of the family. But I believe that once the festivity starts, they just don't put the camera back on the royal family unless they call out their names. So we won't have that to enjoy. But yes, it's true. They honored Harry, but they wouldn't say his name. So they just said the Invictus Games. But we all know that without Harry, there is no Invictus Game. And of course, this was the soldier that they featured. And then during the presentation, there were a couple of people that were dancing out there on the stage or on the floor that were dancing. And they, mentioned, oh, my injury was this, my name is so-and-so. And I'm in thank you, Invictus, that kind of thing. But no image of the royal family. But if it's anything like the first Invictus game, they probably sat there like a bunch of statues, unwilling. And look at Charles. Charles is looking at how big his hands are becoming. Camilla's looking out in the crowd to see if she recognizes anybody. And of course, there's Williams sitting there jealous and seething with anger because it's not about him. You almost forget that they even attended the first Invictus game, but they did. They were there. And there are some photos, to be fair, there are some photos of them looking, rather polite and involved and all that kind of stuff. But just imagine 9 years later, soon to be 10 years later, the Invictus Games has been a huge success for Harry. And William, in that same amount of time, hasn't really done anything. Hasn't done anything. So that's got to be a lot of pressure on him. But yeah, this was a defining moment for Harry. And as you can see here, they couldn't hide from it. This time they, were center stage almost. But with that thing at the Remembrance Festival. They just didn't put the cameras back on him, but there was no mention. As much as I can tell, I did not hear any mention of Harry's name, and I believe that was deliberately so. But it's okay, because you can't help but hear Harry when you hear Invictus. It is one and the same. The brand is securely Harry's, and nobody is going to take that away from him. I don't believe it. I don't believe it. I got a message from the Queen. Sean, once again, has used his incredible mystic powers to to communicate with Her Majesty the Queen in the great beyond. So let me get the intro together. There we go. One more time. One more time. Okay. Royal message. I, Queen Elizabeth II, ruler of the United Kingdom, and plates with photos on it, do hereby declare that Camilla is too old to enjoy the crown that was made for me. I'm so tickled. Queen out. I'm not done yet. And secondly, and most important, of course, okay, here goes. 1992, a year which I shan't look back upon with undiluted pleasure. It was a horrible anus. Oh, yes, it was a horribilis bliss. That's what 1992 was. But thank you so much, Your Majesty, and thank you, Sean, for communicating with the Queen in the great beyond. I'm so glad that thanks to you that she knows that I was sticking up for her with that diamond crown of hers that Camilla put on that gigantic hair of hers. So thank you so much for that. Queen out. All right. Let me get back over here. 1992. Okay. There we go. Got it. All right. Well, thank you so much, Sean. And as always, thank you so much for being here tonight. Okay. And take a look here. So this was the royal family as they were seated, of course, but no image of them as they were speaking glowingly about the Invictus Game. Oh, sorry about that. And then here, now, you guys, I'm not going to say what I'm thinking, but I will let you figure it out. And the reason why I want to be careful is because you know that the tabloid watches. But let me just say this. At the Remembrance Festival, Scotty's Little Soldiers were there. At the Cenotaph today, yesterday, Scotty's Little Soldiers were there, right? There they are at the festival, out there by the Prince Albert Memorial. I mean, they have made their presence known. It's kind of hard to miss them with those gold and black scarves they have on, which reminds me, that seems like the same colors for Invictus, right? That looks like the colors of Invictus, gold and black, right? Now, I'll let you put this together in your own heads. Prince Harry sends touching message to children after receiving emotional new role. He received his new role. He is the recipient of a new role, a new title, something that was made just for him, something that may require him to visit at some point, but we are really excited. Prince Harry, the Duke of Sussex, is joining Scotties as a global ambassador. He's supported Scotties for a number of years, and having been bereaved as a child himself and having served in the British Armed Forces, including deploying to Afghanistan, Prince Harry resonates with our members. They know he truly understands them and the challenges they have face, that is, as bereaved military children. The Duke is also able to use his profile, his clout, his profile, to help raise awareness of the charity, meaning that we can reach and support more children and young people who have experienced the death of a parent who served in the British Armed Forces. So again, you tell me what I'm thinking right now. I don't want to say it myself, but his presence. Oh, and where were they at? They were at the festival last time, right? Right? And they were at the cenotaph, right? And Harry is now the global ambassador. So I'm not sure what that means, but it means something, right? So it means something. I'll just say that, but I don't want to help the press, so it means something. And that's that. Good for you, Harry. Now, Archwell, of course, Archwell Productions, Archwell, the foundation. That is one of the ways that the Sussexes are projecting and also enriching themselves. They are building up their financial portfolio using their Archwell Productions and all the connections and such that they have. Harry with his, what did you call it, the Better Up. And of course, Meghan, who was on the hit television show Suits, is still probably collecting her residuals. And, well, as they say, she may be announcing some big project very soon. The good thing is that the press doesn't know what it is, but it is going to be something great, and we are here for it. So we have that to look forward to. So they're doing fine. They're doing amazing, as a matter of fact. So worry not about the Sussexes. This is shaped up to be an incredible year for them. And, you know, there's been some minor setbacks and everything, especially when the Queen died. That really threw some things off for the Sussexes, and they found themselves vulnerable to that family for those few weeks. But we're back on track, and they have been embraced by the American military community, even greater than they were before. And as we found out the past couple months, they do seem to have some friends in Hollywood that we didn't even know that they were close to, but now we know. So in addition to the ones that they've already been seen with. So that's a good thing. Now, one of the eagle-eyed squaddies found this. Remember, I shared that photo from 2018 the other day, and I was like, is that new? That can't be new. It seems like it's new, but it doesn't make sense. Well, anyway, there's that photo on the left side, but check out the right side. There's Harry standing inside of the window case. There's Princess Diana. Now, I do believe that this may have been that day that they took that Christmas photo where Diana is wearing the big belt buckle. I think this may be that occasion. Not sure. But it seems like it from that outfit with the ruffles on the shirt or pleats on the shirt. And of course, that is the same outfit for the statue where she's wearing the skirt and the pleated top. So do believe that that may have been that day when they took that family portrait. But yeah, you can see from the door fixtures and such, the window frame, that is likely the same room. Even the vent beneath the window for the radiators, I suspect, likely the same room. So that is very cool. And I think this is the last slide. Let me see. Is this it? Yeah, I think this is the last one. Oh my God, almost 3 hours. How did that happen? Anyway, the good news we got for the week was that Harry can proceed with the trial. Well, that and of course seeing them at those occasions, but he is free to proceed with the trial. So that is a good thing. And there's his attorney, Shorburn, whatever his name is, Shorburn. That's going to work out. Doreen Lawrence, Elizabeth Hurley, David Furnish, let's see, Elton John, and I forget that other person. There's someone else, something Frost or something. But anyway, and from what we hear, there may be some more people suing the Daily Fail for all of their intrusion into their lives and phone hacking and stuff. So the fact that the case is continuing, you can't help but think it's a good thing. You got to believe that. And even if for whatever reason, it's not successful for Harry, through discovery and all that kind of stuff, at least the truth will be out there. We will finally know the whole truth. And that is why Harry hasn't settled, is because he wants the truth out there. He wants those people to pay for what they've done, not only to him, but to his mother, and believe it or not, even his brother. But he wants those people to pay. Sally Frost, that's the name, Sally Frost. Thank you so much for that. Okay, so with that, you guys, I am done. Thank you so much. I don't, let me see. Anthony, what's your link, Anthony? I wanted to put your link up. I've been talking a mile a minute, so I don't know. But yeah, if you could share it, I'll put it up. You guys, I was watching Anthony's channel, Majestic Sussex. What is that third part of it? I'm so sorry. But it was super, super relaxing, you guys. Super, super relaxing. I love the very calm nature of the channel. And I think it's a good departure from, the very chaotic Royal Sussex, for example. But yeah, I found it quite calming, and I'm sure that if you haven't seen it, you will find it to be equally calming. But it does have a good effect on you. So, thank you very much, Elise D. Thank you. Okay. Yes, thank you very much. Greatly, greatly appreciate it. So, yeah. So anyway, I'm waiting for the link. I'm waiting for the link so I won't have to find it myself. Why am I drinking coffee at this hour? There we go. And like clockwork, it magically appears. Thank you so much, Lydia Washington, for your help, as always. Let me see here. You know, that little heart down in the corner, when I try to get those 3 dots, that little heart is in the way, but now I got it. There we go. So there it is at the top of the chat. Majestic Sussex report. Please go over and like, subscribe, and share. I promise you, I found it very calming, good information, and some life lessons. Some life lessons. You just have to see it for yourself. But I was super, super impressed. I'm just like, this is like, I'm getting some information. It's very calming. You know what I mean? So check it out. Check it out. And also, let me just say this too. The timing, sometimes you want to just chill with a Sussex channel and not have to switch it because it's a short or the video's not long enough. You want to like multitask and you need something to keep you motivated. I found that very helpful. So I was in the kitchen, I was cooking, I was listening to Anthony, and it was all good. I felt chilled, informed, and everything else. So that is a good thing, because sometimes we just want to chill with a Sussex friendly space and not have to jump up and hurry up and change it to something else because you run out of time. So I found it very, very helpful. Okay. So I don't know how I was on that long because I didn't think it was going to be that long, but here we are. I think I know what it was. I was playing those videos. That's what it was. I threw a couple of videos in there. But yeah, sometimes I don't, well, I usually don't plan for at least half of them, but just seemed like the right thing at the time. Okay. Oh, thank you, Anthony. I appreciate that. This community, though, I have to tell you that the Sussex Squad community is nothing that I would have even dreamt of a few years ago. But I'm telling you the Sussex Squad community, we have helped each other a lot. We have helped each other a lot, and it's been amazing. And it will continue to be. So I'm so glad for that. But we have helped each other a lot. I'm always so like glad when, like, who was it the other day? They couldn't be on because their sister had passed away. And it felt good to me to know that somebody would want to share with the community like that. You know what I'm saying? Because that means that for whatever reason, it seemed like a safe space, right? And who couldn't be pleased being a part of a safe space? So that's the good thing about it, is that having a safe space when everything else is not going so well, that is definitely a blessing. So I'm glad for that. Okay. Yes, happy birthday again. Where is Elaine Parker? Well, you know what? I'm hoping she's sleeping in because Elaine sometimes comes on here and then she's on other spaces. And, you can only throw your schedule around so much before you are rest broken. So I definitely don't want that for her. It's good to have some consistent straight through sleeping instead of, waking up and going back to sleep or trying to nap later. Best to get as many hours in as possible. Let's see. Helen says, I can only imagine the Sussex Squad community is also supporting Harry and Meghan indirectly. Absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, there's a lot of prayers that are going up for the Sussexes every day. Every day. And I believe prayer works. I believe it matters a lot. Oh, let me see. Oh, well, that was very thoughtful. Hello, is it Lacey D? Hello, Lacey D's daughter. Thank you for watching Royal Sussex. But don't go through any extra trouble. I mean, it's late. Don't go through any extra trouble. I appreciate the thought, though. That is very thoughtful. Yes, absolutely. Yeah. Jerry White has said on several occasions that having the Sussex Squad, having this community has been a blessing, And I agree. It has been, I'm so amazed because I'm always been one of those people that like hesitate to be a part of anything that seems organized. But because there's no leader, we don't have a leader, we don't have that pressure. Everybody's doing their own thing with a common goal, of course. That fits me. That's suitable for me. I can work with that. But you know how they say too many what is the old term? Too many straw bosses. When there's too many straw bosses, I don't function well in those situations. So, okay. Let's see, what is that? A letter to mention Invictus for Remembrance Day. I wonder. Look at those shoes Harry got on. Look at those shoes. I'm telling you, Harry has upped his game when it comes to the wardrobe because of Meghan. Harry is a star. Yep. When it comes to fashion, he is a star. He has really upped his game. Gone are those ill-fitting suits and chinos and such, and in are the dark jeans and the nice shoes and welcome Christian Dior and all of that. I could just imagine Harry like really getting into it, getting into the clothes now. Instead of shopping at TK Maxx, I mean, he's just like, I like the cut of this. I'll have that. I love the idea of it, Harry, like really getting into clothes. But wow, I'm sure Harry has to be in awe of where he's come from. He's got to be in awe of it. Probably not so much Meghan because she's grown up around Southern California, so this is not new to her. I mean, Harry's used to money. He's used to being around people with power, but that he has built a life for himself in Southern California, he's made a go of it away from that institution and is a huge success, and people love him. People love him. He doesn't have to suffer from imposter syndrome because he is that person. It'd be different if he were in situations and he didn't know what he was talking about. But because he has such a broad knowledge of the things around, right? Because he has such a broad knowledge, there's no imposter. I mean, he is that person. He fits that life. He's not pretending. He's not a pretender. That is who he is. When I saw him on the Me You Can't See, I was just like, wow. I was blown away. And you all know what I'm talking about. That was when he told Oprah, he said, can we go back to that one point that we spoke about? He said, because I think it's very important. And there he is with Dr. So-and-so, Oprah Winfrey, and a couple of other people. And there was Harry talking that talk and knowledgeable and aware and with authority, no less. Here he is with these big cats, and he's holding his own. I was so proud of him that day. I was so proud of him. Yep, very, very proud of him. I can only imagine that Meghan is just so proud. Like she said, I'm always proud of my husband. I just could imagine that in a quiet moment that she has to be so impressed with how well he has adjusted away from that institution. Just because you know that the monarchy is so accustomed to having so much control over people. They're very accustomed to that. They are good at breaking people. You can come in there with the best of intentions, and that family will break you. That institution will break you. But they didn't get Harry. They did not get him. He got away from it. Yeah, they turned people into robots. What you won't do, you do for love. You tried everything, but you don't give up. In my world, only you maybe do for love what I would not do. My friends wonder what is wrong with me while I'm in the daze from your love, you see. Yeah, that is what happens when you're in love. You do what you got to do. You do what you got to do. And that's what Harry and Meghan did. They did everything they had to do to stay together. I'm sure Meghan would have bailed, but for the fact that she loved her husband so much. She probably would have, but she said there was just no way I was going to leave without him. And there was no way he was going to stay and let her be subject to that institution. That was the whole thing. I'm not leaving without you, and I'm not staying, so they could do to you what they've done to so many other people. And they left. They left. And how confusing. I bet you could have bought their ass for a nickel when Harry left. When they found out that's why they didn't want Meghan at that meeting. They didn't want Meghan at that meeting. That was their last. If we could just get him alone, we can talk some sense into him. God only knows what they offered him. And he was like, nope. You forget I was living in Nottingham Cottage. There's nothing you can offer me. If I could survive that, I could survive anything. I'm out of here. It's one thing when you're messing with me, but when you're messing with my family, you got me all effed up. Yeah. Oh, wow. These are some nice photos. Someone just sent me some what looks like professional pics. These are really, really cool. These are really, really cool. Okay. All right, you guys. I am going to go. Love you guys. I will see you all tomorrow. Hopefully earlier. I think we did pretty good today. About 9:40. I think we did much better today. There you go. That's exactly what it is. Okay. I'm just looking at some of your comments, everyone. Okay, well, let me see. Oh my goodness, where am I? Made me do for love what I would not do. Made me do for love what I would not do. Made me do for love what I would not do. Okay. Huh. That's pretty cool. 2023, Sussex 2023. What a year. And we still got some time left. So about a Christmas photo, will there or will there not be an official Sussex Christmas photo? I'm going to say yes. May not have the children in it, but I'm going to say yes. There will be something because this is a more open period for the Sussexes. So I'm going to say yes. I was listening to Duchess of Advocacy earlier, and I think she said no, but I'm going to say yes. I'm going to say yes, there will be an official Sussex Christmas photo. Whether that will include the children, doubtful. I don't think the kids will be in it. But good night, Flower. And good night, Warrior, Hunter, Princess. Okay. And let's end with Madam Duchess, shall we? We'll end with Madam Duchess. Okay, love you guys. Oh, the last word of the day. I almost forgot about that. Last word of the day. No. Well, let me find something. No, that's not it. Oh boy. Let me see. I'll find something clever. Okay. I cannot believe this chair is still holding up. I mean, it's creaking. You hear that? It's creaking, but I've had this chair for over a year. I didn't think it was going to survive, but it's better built than I thought it was. And I'm not doing anything until I'm laying on the floor. We're going to see how long it lasts. I'm very stubborn like that. Nope, not that. Oh, no, that's too dirty. Let me see. Okay. I don't know if I ever shared this one before, but Never be afraid to try something new. Remember, amateurs built the Ark, professionals built the Titanic, right? Amateurs built Noah's Ark. They were not professional builders, they were amateurs. And there were professionals who built the Titanic, which was supposed to be unsinkable. So let that sink in. So whenever you feel like you can't do something, just remember that amateurs built the Ark and professionals built the Titanic. What say you? Yep. What say you? Oh, this is sexy. You couldn't handle me even if I came with instructions. Now that is sexy. You couldn't handle me even if I came with instructions. Ooh, here's a good one. I want a relationship that turns out to be a blessing and not a lesson. Okay? I want a relationship that turns out to be a blessing and not a lesson. Wow. Somebody got hurt before, right? Let me see. One more, maybe? Oh, okay. Somebody somewhere needs to hear this one. Sometimes you have to shut up, swallow your pride, and accept that you're wrong. It's not giving up, it's called growing up. It's not giving up, it's called growing up. Woof. Now that's a life lesson. Okay, that's dirty. That's dirty. Why do I have so many of these dirty ones? Huh. Uh oh, okay. Stop asking me why I'm still single. I don't ask how you're still married. Ah. Ooh, I like that one. Oh, no, that one's too negative. Well, no wonder it's from Ernest Hemingway. Uh Woo! That's funny. I can't share that one. Oh, okay. This is the last one. I promise. This is the last one. I don't have time to worry about who doesn't like me. I'm too busy loving the people who love me. There you go. I don't have time to worry about who doesn't like me. I'm too busy loving the people who love me. Okay, one more, and then I promise that's the last one. They say 40 is the new 30 and 50 is the new 40. But all I know is the older I get, the more 9 p.m. is the new midnight. I like that. I like that. Okay, I'm going to put that. Let me see if I can put that in the chat. There we go. See it? I just added it to the chat. They say 40 is the new 30, 50 is the new 40. But all I know is the older I get, the more 9 p.m. is the new midnight. That is cute. That is cute. I can't believe it's still 1,000 people here. Well, I shared this one before, but I'll say it again. Because it's funny. I'm going to put it in the chat. If you're having a bad day, just remember somebody you went to high school with still trying to be a rapper. Oh, that's bad. Okay, I'm going to put one more in the chat. Okay, check it out. So, are you seeing anyone? You mean like a therapist? Hallucinations? Oh, wait, that got stuck together. It should be or hallucinations. Yeah. That's fun, right? Are you seeing anyone? You mean like a therapist or hallucinations? I love that. Oh, that's dirty, but that's fun. Can't share that one. Oh, that's tacky. That is really tacky. Funny though, but tacky. Never give up on something you can't go a day without thinking about. That depends on what that something is. Oh, this is too cute. This is too cute. This is too cute. Okay. Here goes. To love someone is to learn the song in their heart and sing it to them when they have forgotten it. Aww. That is so sweet. All right, you all. Did I do the... Oh, yeah, Madam Duchess. I didn't do it yet, did I? Okay, Madam Duchess, and I will see you all tomorrow. Love you guys. Have a good night. Madam Duchess is on the way. Cue Madam Duchess.